Hello and welcome to this next session of Mountain Home. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. In our last session, we kind of started off a year. We saw some of the things that were going on. We introduced one of the entanglements was a surplus, and the other entanglements was the arrival of the merchants. And so those things kind of got resolved out in the early part of the year. And we had some PC NPC interactions and some PC interactions and things like that. And we kind of left off heading into the expedition phase. And we were talking about leaning into looking at the possibility of doing two expeditions. And if I recall correctly, the one that sort of is on the table right now is going out and traveling to get this centaur expert in Oxen and bring him back to the hold. And I think we did kind of settle on that being the next step. Am I right on that, Tyler? Because I know you just watched that.
Yeah, I believe it. I know that we were going with the centaurs. I wasn't. I don't think we had settled it. You had suggested let's do this centaur thing. I don't think I quite heard that we were bringing him back here. I knew we were going to
I
him.
like it though. We go and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
ourselves a centaur diplomat and and have them live here. You deal with them. So,
Yeah, I'm all
And
for
then
that too.
okay, and then we can talk about what we want to do for that second expedition after that. Uh, so Tyler, you know that he is, a ways away. The information that you got is that he is in a village called Toil's Rest. And
Okay.
sort of the primary obstacle at this point is likely to be travel, but there may be other issues when you get there. Uh, is there anything anybody wants to do before you gather yourselves up to head out? I'm also, I confess, curious about like if people are taking guild members with them or not. That's kind of a question that I have. Uh, so I want to start with Grunheld, since this is kind of Grunheld taking point on this particular expedition. So what about you? Anything you're gathering together? Anything you're doing? Are you taking your guild members? That kind of thing.
Um. Well, and considering a lot of the supplies will be in the moment rather than pre, I
Mhm.
do think with my guild, it may look a little too threatening and martially if I take any of the Hearthguard.
That's
So
that's
I
probably
don't
a good
think
point.
I don't think I
Okay.
would take the Hearthguard.
Dawson, what about you?
Yeah, I'm bringing a couple of guild members. I've
Okay.
marked them off once this year, so I still have another pick on them. But I definitely think like fictionally, there's I sort of imagine it's Rylela and like I've talked about her two that follow her around, so it's probably that trio.
Are you taking your uh uh other self with you?
Uh, yeah, I think I am going in the clay body.
So you think that it can reach across that far across the land?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Now
All
I
right.
may have who knows? It may get far enough that I have problems like going back from it or switching back and forth.
Okay.
But I think
Yeah.
the
We'll lay that in as the potential fictional consequences for bad things happening. I think
yeah
that makes sense. Okay. And I think that does illustrate your own character's kind of a little bit of paranoia. Did you tell the others that that's what you're going to do, or when they gather together, is it just that you kind of pop down in your clay pot form?
I think sort of like as Layla is coming in to his workshop area to like hurry him along because we have to get going, everybody's waiting sort of thing. Um she's like coming in the door making a joke about how, well, you know, you need to get on your expedition body. We don't want you falling off. And he's like already there in the clay body. And she's just surprised to not have to argue the point.
Excellent. And then Dagriel, anything you are doing prep wise should know about?
Yeah, I think I am. So I probably get all the scholars together. And
And they're nursing their various bruises and black eyes from the last gathering.
It was a good time. And I think I take the time and I go, well, we're gonna head out to this place to find some centaur that Grunheld knows, but we're gonna be traveling and we're gonna see more of the land. And I turn around and so I'm thinking, and I turn to Vinda, I go, you can choose. Would you like to come along? Or would you like to stay here?
What do you think Vinda leans to? I mean, is this a chance for her to go through your stuff while you're gone?
It is,
or
but it's also a chance for her to like be tagging along with me.
okay, yeah.
But I
if you
don't
wanna
know what
add
it is she likes most. So that's the thing.
Why
roll
don't
a
we have
die.
her go along, and you know,
Okay.
we can mark that if you need to for the guild stuff.
Okay. All right, that sounds great. And she decides to go. And I say then, and then I go, well, then Barter, you're in charge while I'm gone. So clearly she would have been in charge while I was gone. That's what it was. But,
And Tolan, what about you?
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
I let them do what they're good at, and they don't really, you know, they like to sort of just be they're independent. That's their thing. So they're just kind of like,
Yeah,
let us farm, let us do what we're good at.
yeah. There is that bit where you say, well, you're going, and they're all like, okay, cool, you know, and you can see them talking about the, you know, what they're
Yeah,
going to
like I
get up
sort
to.
of wait and see if anybody wants to come along, but like it's I don't think I get any volunteers.
Yeah, I like the idea that that's not their bag at all.
I think they're all trying to figure out who's going to weed your plot. You know, that's
Yeah.
So you all will gather yourselves together, probably some pack animals with you, and the various guild folk, and
Do you
will
mean pet
set,
goats?
yes, the big war goats and rams, and you will head out across land. This is a journey, Peter Jackson style, sweeping camera montage as we go through here. So someone, either everybody needs to make a journey roll, or someone needs to lead the journey roll. Do we have volunteers?
I mean, I actually have an empty stress thing here, so if I can lead.
All right,
Taking stress.
that sounds good. So what? How much do you have in journey?
I have. Okay. I have one.
Okay. So let's have everybody mark any stress you want for extra dice, and everybody go ahead and make your journey rolls.
Stay.
No.
Cool. That's a one.
Dawson got a 1. Okay.
I got a 5.
5,
I got a 3.
3, so 2 misses. And Ethan?
5.
5. So a tense position here.
Well, now we'll take the best.
Yes, but a 5 is the best.
Oh, I got you. Right. Okay.
Right.
Not a fail, but a yeah.
No,
okay.
no.
Yeah.
So Ethan, you'll mark 2 stress for that. And I think that we find that this journey takes longer than you would have liked. That it does eat up your supplies, and so definitely when you get to the location beyond making your negotiations, you're also going to have to negotiate for food, and that's a consequence unless anybody wants to resist that consequence. Hearing.
I'll resist it.
Okay.
Sure, why not? I'll resist it.
So does that feel like insight or resolve for that?
It doesn't really matter. I have two either way,
Okay.
but I think probably insight.
Okay.
I think probably the way I'd resist is to try to scavenge on the way, and that's a 5.
So
That's good.
what'd you get?
5.
Oh, 5. So just 1 stress.
Yep.
So yeah, you will you have knowledge of this. You're good at it. You're able to gather some food and things together, and you will make your journey. You will arrive at where the maps and things mark out that Toil's Rest is. And when you arrive there, you are a little cautious. You're not, I mean, you are a fairly small group. But you will see sort of down in the vale below, the village is there. But you can see that there seems to be some kind of disturbance or fracas going on right now. In that, you will see that there are a number of centaurs there with, their equipment, and the centaurs, that particular the Quranic duchy is not entirely a centaur folk. So you will see that there are some other peoples there, but also in the livery and markings, humans and things like that of the imperial centaurs. But it looks like they are in the middle of having some kind of negotiation or making demands. It looks more like the latter of the people there in the village. Like the centaurs have come in and they do not mean particularly well here.
Oh dear. This could be very tense. Now, and my friend is a centaur. Is that
He
right?
is. So to remind you about the situation, we've established fictionally that the centaurs are very much, they're socially focused on the idea of families and family units, even if it's multiple people, not if it's more than 2 in a family unit, but that's like that's really important to them. And raising kids, whether they're biological kids or something else, like that's a huge part of their culture. Your friend is not into that.
That's right.
And is kind of in exile from the centaurs as a result.
Don't happen to see them, do we?
Well, do you want to try and approach and see if you can spot them without being spotted?
Yeah.
Sure. That feels like scout. Unless you think that there's something else that would be more appropriate.
Well, maybe sneaking isn't the best idea. Oh. I mean, one way or the other, we're going to have to deal with them regardless. It might be better to be just friendly, open, hello, and see if we see my friend. What do we think? Any opinions? I'm not sure I could give a sufficient description, but I'm more than willing to bet, and I'll shift slightly as you hear my armor and everything that's on me go clinky, 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 that I could get close enough without being noticed.
It's definitely true. Sure. Like how they got the like village surrounded, or just like they're
There
at the
are a group of
entrance?
centaurs there who are clearly making demands. They've got some other troops who are clearly bossing things around. Like they don't have the village like completely surrounded or anything, but they clearly are in control of the village and are issuing demands here.
They're probably trying to take control of the place. Or asking tribute.
Oh, well, yeah, they're shaking them down because they don't have anything to offer to the village. They just have things to take. So
We could wait them out.
Want to wait for dark?
Any thoughts?
no,
No? Head down and
no,
address this face forward. Skulking is not the dwarven way.
it is not, and they're going to come to our door as well. So we might as well figure out what we're going to have to deal with.
All right, then. Should we all go? And I kind of look, because we have a decent-sized party, right? We
Mhm.
have
You've got
scouts,
you four,
and we have...
plus a couple of people from Dawson's Guild, plus a couple of people from the Scholars Guild. So you're probably like 8 or 9 people.
All right. Well, I suggest we just go down then.
The whole group going down.
We better
wanna
leave someone
have
back in case
some-
we get. Yeah.
All right.
So who is
for-
going down and who is staying?
Why don't we have that sneaky?
You know, I have my scouts, and they are very inventive.
and reckless, right?
A little bit reckless.
The scouts are like they are chomping at the bit right now, I think, is probably what's going on. They're like,
No,
Why don't we can deal with the horses, people, and like punching them in the knee if that needs to happen, and Rylella can go and find whoever your friend is.
Wait, what did you just suggest?
Well, how else are we going? I thought you wanted to stop
No.
the centaurs from shaking down this village.
We're not interested. No, we're not stopping them from anything in particular. We're just going. That is not what I think we should do.
So we're helping them rob these poor people.
It is not A and B. We're looking for C. We're going down to find my friend. Ideally, without causing any sort of conflict at all on our part, I would suggest.
Well, fine. We can go down and wishy-washily not start any conflict, and they can find your friend sneakily.
I will say your bravery is tremendous when you're, and I'll give your body a look over, less in danger than most.
Come forward and tink you on your 5 layers of armor. I think maybe you'll be okay for a minute.
Let's approach with friendliness. Anybody wish to stay back with perhaps our reinforcements?
the 2 scouts will move off. We can make a roll based on their tier in a minute if we want to put them into play. Is anyone else staying back, or is everybody else going down?
I let my cousin choose whether they stay back to observe and perhaps have to rescue us, or whether they come down.
Planning on needing rescuing?
I don't know, but And I turn around and go, designated survivor, all that stuff.
So, but
I'm
I
actually a
still say
little unclear on what that means.
you're going to need my help, so I should probably stick with you.
But okay, yeah, that sounds good.
All right then. Onward.
So you will head down very openly, and certainly, once when you're noticed, there is a moving of the troops there, and you will see a group of spearmen and archers come moving to kind of take up position, and several centaurs come up the path to make it kind of like stop you before you can get to the village kind of thing.
Greetings. We are travelers. Is there some problem here in the village?
There is no problem.
We come to speak with someone who lives here.
We are in
that all
charge.
right?
We're the authority over this village. We represent the Kironic Duchy. This area has devolved to the duchy with the passing of its previous lord, and we are here to carry the news of that. So, matters are unsettled here. You may speak with me if there is something that you require.
It is my desire to find one of the citizens of this village and speak with them. Would that be a problem?
It would be,
I see.
certainly depending on who it is you wish to speak to, and my suggestion would be that you head back and come here another time. So this is a point at which I think we kind of probably go to a diplomacy move to soften this. The thing is, centaurs do not like you guys.
No.
So right now you are in desperate standard result.
Okay.
What do you want to use here, Grunheld?
I could either go with convince, or I could go with host if I was trying to do something that respects their culture. I think the more direct at the moment. I'll dip back to host if something goes poorly, I think.
All right. So that's 2 dice.
That's 2
do
dice.
You want to
I haven't asked for a devil's bargain this time around. What's the devil's bargain that might be available?
I think the devil's bargain is that not your friend, but you'll see some of the other people that the centaurs are rounding up and rousting out.
What do you mean by that? I don't quite understand what you're saying.
I mean that you will bear witness to something that you might dislike entirely.
Oh, we will end up in a fight if we watch a massacre.
No, I'm not going to massacre anyone. Not going to massacre anyone. That's off the table. Bystanders being hurt.
Okay. Well,
alternatively, I can spend a stress and give you some help by essentially asking about who the former lord was and the hierarchy that is being invoked here and all of those things, as if the law of the Chironic thing is incredibly important to us and we need to understand the situation.
Well, if you're doing that, that dips me more down to going to host, because then it's playing with their culture.
Okay.
Then let's go there. If that's how you're helping me, you're helping me strengthen in the idea of respecting their culture. We're hoping to find a neat little loophole, say the right thing that'll let us get past.
Yep.
Also, Tyler, do you have any gear that could help out with your positioning, maybe?
Ooh, yes. That's a very good idea. Um, let's see here. How about a a historical memento? An elder always has something from the distant past on hand. How
Okay.
about something that shows the old like relationship between Carrick Minar and the centaurs from back before, kind of calling back to when a time was
Actually,
peace.
probably calling back to your previous dwarven hold.
Okay, let's go with that then. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to move yourself from desperate to risky?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. So it sounds like 4 dice.
4 dice. There's almost no chance that you
Lol,
could fail.
Neil. Why you do that to me? Come on. I got 6. And
6.
a lot of fails.
So he will say,
It was Sherry's help.
says, all right, well, you are welcome to, given old ties, you are welcome to stay, but I trust that A, you will not interfere with our business, and
Of
B, will
course.
not cause any disruption to our imperial oversight.
It is as you say, your village. We are merely visitors.
Absolutely. And so they will kind of point you to the inn, and they will escort you there. They do not let you go anywhere else. They do not let you go and mingle with the people. They will escort you to the inn and say, you may take your rest here. And then this commander will say, and who is it precisely that you are here to see?
Ugh, I knew the rub was going to come to it. It's not good to lie to them. So I will tell them it's so. And I come to seek Inoxen.
Oh. Well, that may prove somewhat difficult,
Why so, sir?
as we are in part here for Inoxen, and we are here to find him and take him back. We are here to take our levy of persons from the village, and we've also been sent to find and take Master Inoxen with us. If we locate Master Inoxen, I will give you a brief audience with him before I slap him in chains and drag him back to the capital.
I would thank you for that. I take it then that he has not been found.
You may take it that way if you wish.
I see. We appreciate the offer of rest.
He says, it is almost dark. Please do not leave the inn once night has fallen. We consider this a curfew.
Probably, I'll look to the others. Should we call in the rest of our folks or leave them out there?
No, we should not call them in.
Leave them out there.
What rest
Oh.
They know how to hide.
They do that, inventive and recklessly.
That's more of a consequence when we make the roll for them.
Right, yes, hopefully
how
they'll be
badly that's
fine.
going to go. That shows us the dimensions of the failure. So you will go in. There is a tavern keeper here, and his daughter, goblins. They will greet you. The goblin switches into fine tradesman Kuzdal dwarven tongue when he sees you and greets you with all the formalities. Come in, come in, come in, come in. Ah, oh, is this an elemental that you bring with us? Or is this some master of the stones?
Wouldn't you like to know answers like that?
Oh, I would. Please come in. Do you require sustenance as well, or do you require a bed? I do not know what would feed such a wondrous personage such as yourself, august as you are.
Maybe a nice cloth and a bucket of clean water to help loosen up the
That
joints.
That we can do. That we can do. Oh, honored elder, come in, and turns to you, Tolan, and Dagger, and says, young people. He clearly can tell how old dwarves are. He's clearly been around them long enough. Young people, come in and sit. I apologize for you coming here to Toil's Rest at a time when we are in such disarray. I have but some rice and stew that I can serve you. I'm a little bedraggled at the moment, but I hope that will do. I might be able to have my daughter sneak out and get us some bread a little bit later, if that would be.
And beer, perhaps?
Now that goes without saying. You're dwarves. If I had no beer, I would have come at the door and I would held my hand out and say, "Dwarves, do not darken my doorway. I have no beer for you." And I would have wept great goblin tears. So come in and sit down. And he will say,
this host.
Trade with your homeland. So I do have, it is a little pricier, but I do have some of your own brew from the great vaults of below. And I will pour that out for you now. And he will do that. He will serve out. Food is brought, beer is brought, and then he comes over and he brings his own little goblin stool. He turns it around and sits down on it, puts his arms across, and he's like, what times are these?
Indeed, seems dark in your fine village.
It is. I am very upset about this. The centaurs arrived yesterday evening, just as night was falling. We knew that the Lord. It's a complicated set of like Baron to Duke to Dutch. That there's a whole but we knew that there had been some in the lines, and so it was, I understand it, the Lord above our Lord who passed sold his properties, transferred them, sold. They never say sell because they're divine right of kings. But they don't say sale, but they did and handed it over to the Quranic Duchy. And so that is the situation that we're in. I did not introduce myself. I am Fishbane.
Well met, Fishbane.
And well met. And you are?
I am Grunheld.
Grunheld. And he says your family name?
You are very well informed, Master Hostler.
I keep my ears open. They are huge, and it is very hard to close them if I could, even if I could, and I don't even do that.
I could perhaps make you some form of stone earmuffs that might help with the problem.
Oh no, I apologize. It was merely a jape. Perhaps it does not translate well for you in being a being of such magical properties such as yourself.
That must be it.
I see.
Must be.
And I kind of look, I'm like, oh, he's just like that.
Very literal, and a literal goblin is not a good thing. Yes, they arrived, and there was some tumult that occurred and some demands that were made, and then today they have started to make their wishes known. They are conscripting all of our smiths.
Oh,
What?
that
Yes, we have 2 good smiths that we have used for
Well,
trading, and
let's not go too far.
let's be polite, Master Dawson.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not important. A smith is always important to a community.
right, and I didn't say dwarven smith or smith of anything approaching the quality of dwarven art. I said our village smiths and their apprentices.
Fair, okay.
Fair.
They're taking your
Because
smiths and
my
their
arrogance has limits. I'm sorry, I
like
interrupted
this
you,
guy.
Master Tolan.
They're taking your smiths and their apprentices?
Yes. They are leaving us old Craven, who makes the horseshoes. That's all he does. That's all he's ever done.
That is
Your
tragic.
smiths, and they're looking for a centaur.
Because
Hmm. Looking around, how busy is this inn?
there's like nobody but you guys here.
Mm.
He says
Oh,
normally
good,
we would
then
have
we
people
need to
here.
super enjoy it. So
Yeah, he says normally there would be people here in the evening having drinks, draughts, maybe music, talking, conversation, that kind of thing, tale telling. But with the curfew, you are my only customs.
Well, we did come here for our own personal business that has nothing to do with you or your village. But we are honor bound to protect any smiths that we run across. So I pledged you, we will drive this evil from your town.
No, no, no,
Fist pounded on the table.
no, towel over your head. No,
No, it's all right. I've already sworn. You don't need to sworn. I swore for all of us.
no.
Some of us have arrogance without any limits.
So yeah, Grunheld, he does give his oath to assist the village. You'd see Fishbane kind of senses that maybe there's a little change in the atmosphere there, and he says, let me go and see about that bread, and I will leave your company to yourselves for a bit. I will be back in a bit. Let me refill your beverages and let you,
Thank you.
talk amongst yourselves. Pops out.
Dawson, have you lost your senses?
What? No, of course not.
We cannot swear to defend this village. We have neither the capability nor really even the right to do so.
Oh, we are certainly not going to sit here and watch them drag smiths off.
you're sitting back home. Easy for you to say.
I'm just as invested as all of you in this.
How strong is that body?
Well, I can lift and throw rocks.
How
We
many
can all lift and throw
swacks from a big heavy centaur sword could you take?
Well, I don't know, but if they're having to steal goblin smiths, I can't imagine their swords are very good quality to begin with.
My guess is it
That or
isn't
they're
Goblin
building
Smith,
something.
but they are arming the mercenaries they've been hiring, I suppose.
And
But
so you would prefer them to have better armed mercenaries?
I would prefer to survive leaving this village. Doesn't we cannot interfere. I do not believe. I do not think we can survive that.
If you are too cowardly to upstand the oath that I have made, I will handle it myself.
Do you have a plan, or were you just going to go start punching centaurs?
Well, I wasn't just going to go start punching centaurs. My plan was to make a plan.
Okay. That sounds more like you. I hope it's a good one. Did you see how they reacted when I mentioned they're looking for a centaur?
Oh, yeah.
You have called my honor into question, Dawson. You are not here to face my axe, but I will be returning home.
Oh, then I'd make sure it's with the Smiths nicely saved.
Fool's errand. And a fool's words. We should find out where my friend is and leave this place as quickly as possible. And if you wish to stay and lose whatever this thing is that travels with us, then that is your choice. You're muted.
Oop, you muted though.
Fishbane will return as the silence hangs over the table. So here's that dwarven ale I promised. And another bowl of clean water for you, good sir.
Thank you.
Mistress Grunheld, I have a cask in the back that I would have difficulty lifting. I was wondering if I could impose on you to assist me to get it up so that I might tap it.
Of course. Your hospitality, I am more than happy to repay with whatever service I might. I
Thank
will
you.
stand up, cast another look back at Dawson, and move off to follow him.
And he will take you in the back and walk you through. And you see his daughter has snuck back in. She has some loaves of hot bread, and he tells her to go and take those out to your companions. And he will take you back into the room with the various bottles and kegs and things like that. And it's very hard to get in here because it is mostly filled by a centaur.
Oh. An oxen.
What are you doing here, Grunheld?
To speak with you, I did not know what was occurring. Are you all right?
I'm a little cramped right now, I will admit.
They plan to take you home in chains.
Yes, they are.
Any idea why?
I have spoken against imperial presence in the area, perhaps too loosely, too vociferously, too flowery. I don't know. I hit a nerve, and
Why do my friends try to bring so much trouble onto themselves?
I thought I was at a fair distance from trouble.
How can we get you out of here?
I don't know, but I can't leave without the Smiths that they are taking. They are not taking them out of any great need, but it is what they are holding over me. I was staying with the Smiths here. I have old friendships with you and with other dwarves, and it's always been a place that has been homey to me. and they are taking the smiths because of that. They believe that it will draw me out, this threat.
Are these Smiths dwarfs?
No, they are merely people that I know and I have
So they blackmail you with the lives of your friends.
that they do. And I have been too much of a coward to simply turn myself over. But then you and your companions arrived, and I overheard your friend saying that you have a plan for rescuing the Smiths.
Then you did not hear him correctly. He said he intends to
Wow.
rescue them. That is not the same as having a plan, I promise you.
You speak in a tone that says that perhaps you do not have the utmost confidence in your companion's capabilities.
Then I have not spoken strongly enough.
You mean that you do, or do you have less than I would have even expected?
Less than you would be capable at this moment of expressing.
Fair enough.
However,
now I'm going to stop you here, Brunhild.
yeah.
Now, this is a point at which we can go to a roll here if you want. If you want to try and convince him to that the best plan is to go with you and take care of the Smiths later, or give them up. I mean, if that's the way you feel about it, I mean, because you are a communicator, I want to put that to you. I'll also point out that you do have an ability that you have not potentially used here that you might bring into play. You have that special ability. You could conceivably try to do that, go and talk to the centaurs and see if there's someone amongst them that you could, make it a bargain with.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see how we can sneak you and their captives away. But if they can't find you, maybe they'll have less reason to want these blacksmiths. Maybe I could convince them that you are simply gone and their captives are of no use to them.
If you think you can.
I've seen the forces they have here, and I know the forces that are with us. And while I would put any dwarf up against two of any of their troops, we do not have twice their number. Are they? They are more than twice.
I got the math. I understood. This is what you meant. So let's have you roll convince here.
Okay. I'm going to have to frickin' agree with Dawson about saving these damn blacksmiths. All right, this is convince. I'll push myself.
Oh, mark 2 stress.
Yeah. Two, 1, 1.
2, 1, 1. I think that as you're talking to him, he's becoming increasingly agitated in this, and I think he kind of like is in here, And I think as he's kind of getting and you're not convincing him, I think that he's overreacting. And there is that moment when he reflexively kicks back with his hoof and kicks out the back part of that wall.
Oh,
Would you
fudge.
like to resist that consequence?
I would like to resist that consequence.
You may do that with resolve.
All right, rolling 3 dice. It can't be worse. It's not. I got a 5.
Okay, so 1 point of stress. You
Mm.
grab him before he can get overacted, and he says, I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, if you can, I don't know, if you can sneak the Smiths out and sneak me out, I'll be well. I will do what I can, but I cannot leave without them.
All right.
And he stops. And he says, "You do not have to defend my honor. Uh, it, look, I will go and turn myself in.
Not yet. Not yet. Let us try. And, old friend, I would do nearly anything to save you from this fate. But I will not sacrifice the entirety of my company.
No, should you have to.
So if things go poorly, the Stone Man and I will stand with you.
All right. I think back at the table, Fishbane Nina, the little one, will bring over the bread to you and some fresh butter, and well, we'll be asking you about where you come from, and says my father has said that he will take me to the Dwarven Hold when I'm old enough to go on a trading expedition, but I've not been there. I've only heard of it. But you come from a different place.
Yes. And I will tell them like where it is that we come from, and that we've built a place, an inn outside, so that when you come as a trader, there will be a place for you to be and stay, and you won't have to be under the mountain. Though you could, of course, come and visit us there.
I like caves, so
Mhm.
I'd like to see a big cave. If that's that sort of thing.
Good child. Under the mountain is definitely much better.
Oh, okay.
Out here, you all have too much air.
What are you?
It's rather rude. I'm a dwarf.
But dwarves, but you're not made of flesh.
Well, not at the moment.
Are you a mud dwarf?
What? This is high quality clay.
So you're a clay dwarf.
Okay, I can see how I backed myself into that one.
And she's clearly thinking about the implications of that. Let's take our first break, and we'll come back with Grunheld, and we'll give a chance for Tolan and Dagriel to also get a little more choice in the matter here, and we'll move on. Okay, so take 10. And so we've had Dawson throw a spanner in the works, and we've had Grunheld interact with the centaur. I want to give Dagriel, I think it's Dagriel, but I can't tell because Sherry hasn't changed her name yet. Dagriel and Tolan a chance to do something, interact with somebody. Tolan, what are you doing?
That's the daughter. So
Fishbanina?
Fishbanina, yeah. The Smiths they're taking, where are they now?
They have them in their they put them in the Elder Smith's house.
Okay, that's good to know.
She'll walk you over to the window and she'll point across, and they're probably like a guard and a centaur guard, like out front, torches, you know,
Okay.
looks a little bit like uh, old Hercules and Xena setup there. So
Um, cool, cool. And where do most of the centaurs stay at night?
they are in the Great Hall, and there, and she'll point like down the street a ways. Like there is a bigger village hall. You'll see they've got a couple of tents out in front of it. They kind of sort of have some in there and some in camping outside.
About how many are camping outside?
Probably that's where they have the patrols that are out at night, and that's maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
Because we're just out of winter, so it's kind of cold outside.
Okay. If we could somehow block the centaurs in the Great Hall, keep them there, that would reduce the number of people we have to worry about.
If we could keep them busy with something else also.
How many doors does the hall have?
I think it has the great main door, but then it has a back door, but that's small. I mean, it's like for like 2 legs, not 4 legs.
All right, that's good. That's good. I look at Dawes, I'm like, so I don't really have a plan here. I'm just sort of outlining the possibilities.
Spitballing.
That's what we do. We build the plan step by step, and then it's a full plan, and then we're rescuing Smiths, and everybody's cheering us, and maybe with a party.
So what are we going to do with the Smiths after we save them? Because if we take them back with us, then they aren't helping the town, and the town's in the same shape.
That's true.
Is there another town, another place nearby where they would be safe?
When she sort of stops and goes, they still wouldn't be in the town. If we've taken them, then they'll be punished. I think has Grunheld come back and told us what's going on, or are we just back here by ourselves?
Well, if you want, we can bring Grunheld back so you can do this with the
Yeah.
information that Grunheld has. Okay, so let's say that kind of after Talon has kind of looked out the window, talked with Fishbanina, and you're kind of talking about what to do. Dagria will come back, perhaps a little more thoughtful.
Okay. Sort of I just need to know that the centaur is here. Does that make any sense? Because essentially, so if they're looking for your friend and they were to find your friend, but in a state that was of no use to them.
Like dead?
Yes.
Well, I found him.
All right.
Oh. Well, wonderful. That must make everything easier.
Not at all. Except if we could convince them that he was dead. And I'll sort of look at my cousin and go, there are herbs for that. But I don't know how, and how you would dose the centaurs and entirely a different thing. I mean, it would take there would be some risk, let's put it that way.
But it could be done. Plus, whatever happens, we get to write it down and have the records of it.
The mushroom beer that Tullen made me feel like I was going to die.
That's a
Hmm.
very different thing.
Well,
You didn't look dead. We need the other way around. We need okay, but look dead, not look fine, but actually in
No, no,
some other world.
so
the
see,
principle.
it's a matter of tweaking rather than whole invention. Then
The scholar reaches out and pats you and goes, yes, yes, that's right. And then turns back to you, Dagriel.
Yeah.
You were saying?
So the only thing is that we would still have to get him to a place where it would look like perhaps he may have either taken his life or had an accident, right? So we still have to sneak a centaur out of the inn. Even if we can come up with the right brew.
Well, I think that clearly we already have a volunteer for the person who could create distraction, right?
Yeah, doesn't?
Doesn't?
doesn't? Oh,
Except
wait, doesn't to me.
yeah, so you'd
So-
have to give up your clay body and make a new one probably, unless of
Oh,
course
Yeah,
you could figure out.
I mean, if he just wanders out at night as if he had lost control of his body and to draw attention away after curfew, he might get like roughed up by the centaurs. But
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't clobber him to death. All right, that sounds good. They seem like very peaceable folk, systematic anyway.
he says, "Well, I will sneak out, go to the scouts, get the proper materials, and see what we can do about brewing up this pseudo hemlock."
Oh, hemlock. Perhaps we should the centaur to see if he has some sense of the dosing of these things.
We'll come to
I
that.
still think we should
yes.
somehow lock the door of the Great Hall first.
First?
Before we cause a distristurbance.
Oh yeah, but she's not going to.
We don't want them all running out. That's the
right.
Hmm.
It sounds good. Well, pardon me. If there's anything that you have to add, Grunheld, it was just a thought.
No, I'm very much intrigued. I will say once we lock the door, then they will be aware that the door has been locked on them, and they will probably blame the townsfolk. And we'll take retribution upon them.
There's locking a door, and then there's how's your stone speak, doesn't? Can you do that from within your clay body? If not, I suppose I can try.
It works quite well, and actually, I may have to rethink my stance on the crow people. Reach into a bag and pull out a like feather and carved stone charm that he got from the crow people. You know, an act of nature is no one's fault. If there were an unexpected earthshake, if the main hall were to
Nice.
sink a few inches, well, the door wouldn't be locked, it would just be blocked.
Exactly. Didn't say locked, blocked. Just make it difficult for them to get out.
How big is this village, Lowell?
Maybe a couple of dozen different buildings. I mean, it's a trade village.
About how many people would you guess?
Probably about, let's see, maybe 180, 200.
Not easy enough to convince to just disperse. even if we offered them a home. All right.
So let's start with the first part of this. I
Mhm.
think this is Dogreal working to put together via with your guild assistants some kind of herbal thing that can simulate death.
Right.
Okay. So let me look at this Dogreal. Dogreal, do you have any infuse?
No. I do
I
too.
do, and I can help.
Awesome.
Okay. So this feels maybe like study then,
Yes,
with
that was definitely what it
Tolan
was.
assisting. And do you have a particular piece of supply you want to use? Because I do think this is a challenging thing.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. I think knowledgeable gear, several relevant texts, an old map of the surface. But I'll say what we have is a book with herbal knowledge and pictures of like what it looks like and stuff, and like where it grows. And so we have that kind of sense of we know it's around this area, we just have to locate it.
So I think that will raise it up from like small effect to good, like make it fictionally plausible
Mhm.
that you can do this.
Right.
So Tolan's spending a stress to give you an extra die. So it seems like you're rolling with 3 dice.
Let this work. Oh, I hate these dice. All right, here we go. Here we go. 2 5s. I can't get a 6, but I can get 2 5s.
So I think you can get this, but I think that like right now, it's going to be super risky because it's not going to last that long unless you'd like to resist that consequence.
I will resist the consequence for Grunheld.
Okay.
And it's the thing is that my cousin sees me doing that. Does that make any sense? Doing that extra, like going back over, making sure it'll be okay, doing the thing, checking, rechecking.
Okay.
Okay,
That
so I
feels
gotta roll.
insight for resist.
Sure. That's 2d6. A 5 is my best, so I take stress.
Stress.
Right.
So right now you have a poultice, or rather a draught that you believe are fairly certain that when the centaur drinks it, it will have the appearance that he has taken his own life with some sort of poison, and it will last for several hours. So it will convince anyone who observes him. So that's step 1. You've got step 2 is sneaking him out of here to another place. Alternately, I mean, if you just want to have him drink it here and then call people over, that's also a possibility. Depends on how you want to approach this.
I don't think we would want him in here because then the innkeeper might get blamed for it.
Yeah.
So we want him well clear of anyone having to take the fall for what's going on. And actually, in some ways, something that would almost be sensible, like a place that a centaur might go to have some.
So why don't, if I may suggest this very mechanically,
Okay.
it feels like we talk about Dawson using some magic or some powers to set up another founder's action. And then Tolan, maybe we have you roll for sneaking him out. Does that seem fair?
That sounds right for me.
So what do you want to roll? How are you creating a distraction, Dawson, so that they can sneak this centaur out?
So I have that charm from Ringzu of the Tengu, which
Uh-huh.
is a badass tier 3 charm.
Right.
So much higher than we normally have access to. And I want to have basically like a localized earthquake, but it's shaking under the main hall there, so
Okay.
that the like foundations sink and go down, and all the doors are locked in.
Yeah, the thing is, you've still got a bunch of people outside, so you probably just want to like use the earthquake to like you don't necessarily need to sink the place, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just
I thought we were
just
trying to
to,
lock them all in.
I don't think we need that as much as we
Yeah.
need them
You
to
just
be.
need just a couple minutes distraction while you get the
Okay,
centaur out and away,
then why
right?
don't we do a more generalized but not like hopefully too damaging earthquake, and could like set up the centaur to look like he died in it?
As opposed to the draught, the self-poisoning thing.
As opposed to
We're still gonna
suicide, you're
need that to
saying.
make him look dead,
Uh,
but that way, yeah, seems more plausible. Oh, something fell on him and he died in the earthquake.
Is it?
It does
I
require
don't know.
someone having to like
Stage it.
stage the body a little bit more, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, uh,
Yeah,
death in an earthquake would be damage that would be like physical as compared to
that's true.
us saying that
That's true.
I
he
think
committed
Dawson,
suicide.
this is a pretty easy thing for you to do. I think with the tier 3, I think this is potentially great effect with this thing. Do you want to roll stone speak for that?
yes, I do. What might be a devil's bargain on that?
I think the devil's bargain is that it will go down to a tier 2.
I could give an alternative devil's bargain.
You are always welcome to. Wait, we're
Oh.
not playing trophy.
Oh,
No, go
sorry.
on.
Or it could happen where you are at too. So where you're physically at, so you could hit also the
Oh,
the
like back in
mountain.
the
Yeah,
back in the mountain.
hit in both places.
I like that, especially if things go terribly wrong on his roll.
Exactly. It could be a disaster in 2 places.
Which one do you want, Dawson? Or neither?
I think I might go for the stress of the situation.
Okay. Just mark a couple stress.
I think Sherry's makes sense. I just don't want it at the moment.
Okay, I think that's fair. Do not
this is a charm from Karak Minor, so I think this is very much like the long underground foot of the mountain here. Like I'm still calling on the same mountain. So I could see it hitting home, but I don't want to.
Yeah. So you have Stone Speak of 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so roll 3 dice.
Got the same thing that Cherry did. 5s.
5s. So I think that the this will create an earthquake. This will definitely draw their attention. I mean, we've got great effect as a tier 3 item. Like you are going to draw their attention away. Tolan is going to have an easy time getting him out. But I do think that you are made of clay, channeling an earth-shattering item. So I think you're going to be injured.
That makes
Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Do you want to take that or resist that?
No, I want to take that.
Okay. So yeah, what does that look like? Like, what do we see happen to you? What does the injury look like on you?
Yeah, he's got the charm out, and he's drawn a big like runic circle in the earth there before he starts chanting with the charm like up against his mouth and down to the ground and up against his mouth and down to the ground. But as things start shaking, I think sort of like my video was doing earlier, that like weird supernatural jumpy jitter effect starts going over his whole body, and the like runic patterns that are drawn in it and channeling the magic, they start to slip and not connect right, and so like his joints are gonna bend oddly and his limbs won't quite respond right anymore.
I think that's great. We see that twisting. Tolan, you are in a controlled position. Dawson has set this up. It's going to be pretty easy for you to do this. What do you want to roll to sneak this guy out and sort of set up this tableau of his tragic suicide?
Wow, what is this?
I'm good with a sneaky thing or even a convince thing, to get this to work.
Yes, I mean, like, I think the sneaking thing would probably be the scout or journey. But
Sure.
the setting things up would be craft. I think, but probably the hard part is the sneaky part. So, like, that's the. So I think I'll go with scout.
Okay. Are you like using a device to,
Oh, that
because you
is
got
an
that
excellent
jury rig,
question.
if there's anything that would be appropriate there?
Yeah. Hmm.
Use your backpack and jury rig it so that you could actually like almost hoist the centaur up on your back and carry him so they can't hear hooves when you're moving around.
Um, that gives me some idea here. Yeah, I'm going to what have I got in here? I've got something. Oh, here we go. I've got travel gear, including a bedroll. And I'm gonna like take cloth from that and wrapped around his feet for that exact, yeah, so they
Okay.
can't hear the hooves.
So go ahead and roll this with 2 dice.
Oh, that's a 6.
6. So I think we see hear that sound, the earth kind of shakes, the building shakes, but it shakes more down that area. The centers are kind of thrown off balance, and even as that is happening, Fishbane kind of throws this side door open, holds it for you as you lead him out with these things. He's doing the thing like a cat does with he have little booties on, and he's kind of not digging it. But you will get him away out of slightly outside of town to a ceremonial place that like a shrine that seems appropriate.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
he's like, and I have to drink this.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
Unless you can make yourself seem very dead.
It falls over. And we will cut to the morning when Grunheld, the centaur commander, will come to where you're at and will say, we regret to inform you that the person that you were here to see has engaged in an act of cowardice and has killed themselves.
What?
We found his body late last night out at the shrine just outside of town.
That is tragic news. Commander, it is a terrible shame when someone is driven to that sort of ends.
It speaks to a lack of moral fiber.
Yes, I suppose it does.
That kind of eye daggers between the two of you.
Thank you for informing me. It seems my trip was for naught.
Renhout, are you going to ask to take the body to handle the burial rites?
His remains. Can I at least give him a proper burial?
Certainly, we will not spare that expense.
And it's the least I can do for my friend.
I will have the innkeep show you the way. He knows the way to the shrine.
Thank you.
And we will cut to Fishbane leading up to the shrine. You're not being followed. They want to show their absolute disdain for him. And Fishbane will say, I hope that I have been of service to you good dwarven folk.
You have been marvelous. Fishbane, I have seldom found a better innkeep in all my travels.
Then it is perhaps that I might impose on you for a favor.
It would only be fair.
Well, you have dealt with the centaurs, and I suspect that they will merely occupy us. They make me nervous here for the present moment about how they wish to impose their favors. And I wonder if you would be willing to, for a time, allow my daughter to travel with you and perhaps help in your settlement. I mean, perhaps for a year while things get settled out until I just am afraid that
Master Fishbane, it would be a privilege.
Oh, I thank you so much. I've already said to her, and she was I said that she might be able to take a trip and so on. It would mean that I would have one less worry, that one less piece of leverage that they could use.
And Master Fishbane, should this place become untenable?
If it becomes untenable, we are closer to the old dwarven hold, and I will certainly head there and use your name to conjure with, my good friend.
I will happily take your daughter and put her under my protection.
I brought for you some mud in case you need to patch up your friend. There's some cracks on him this morning, I noticed.
Really? Cracks? I know of one that keeps splitting too often, but thank you, Master Fishbane. I will give it to him in your compliments.
Thank you. And he will load you all up with some additional, like a couple of small casks of good old school dwarven ale for you to take and
We'll
top
pay
off your
handsomely.
supplies. Okay. And the group of you can be on your way. I imagine you're about a couple of hours on the road when he comes to,
The corpse comes to.
horse comes to, and there's some. That was the perching that goes on there. I don't think I can ever eat blackberries again.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh, you didn't drink it.
That's right.
And I think there's a simple travel montage of the group of you heading back home.
Excellent.
And arriving back with the young goblin innkeeper's daughter and this centaur historian there as resources for the settlement. Sound good?
Yep, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about where people are at and if we want to do a second expedition.
I got 2 stress and 2 supply left.
I'm through my base supply. I only have 3 stress left.
5 stress and 1 supply left.
2 supply left, 4 stress.
4 stress left.
Mhm.
Okay. We need to hoard our gold, our treasure at this point, because we are hoping for a deer jump.
Okay.
Maybe we should hold back on a second
Yeah.
expedition.
Oh,
because
and
I'd want to have at least a couple of us flashback to get rid of some stress if we're going on another.
and let us say here, as a result of this, I think you can get 2 reputation for your work here
Woohoo!
from doing this.
Just to 8.
I think
That's
people
what
will
we needed.
hear about this. I think that you will also gain a treasure, essentially, as
Treasure.
Master Fishbane like probably gathers some goods and things from the villagers to thank you and hands those off to you so you can mark a treasure for that.
Beautiful.
So that's 3 treasure.
And I'm guessing that that they did leave the blacksmiths. They weren't willing to run
Oh,
them
yeah,
off. That was all
yeah.
good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was merely leverage.
Mhm.
So things may not go great there, but at least the real threat has been taken care of.
As we do walk, I will make a point of us, in those moments where we camp, that these centaurs are a problem.
There's a lot of them. But we're hard to get a hold of. Where we're at, they will be looking for leverage on us. So
They will be something we have to face eventually.
but in the meantime, we can plant more brambles. Just saying.
Agreed.
Let's do this. Let's take our second break here.
All right.
Come back. Just take 5, and we'll come back and we'll do the settlement phase.
Go.
Okay. There's here too. So you wanted to have a free play moment?
Yeah. So I'm guessing we all get back, and I will follow Clay Dozen as they return back to home. And as we enter the guild, Master Dozen,
Yes.
I'll walk up to you, and you called my honor into question. I have treated you with respect throughout our time here. when they asked me back at home why I would travel with you, I said I saw such promise in you. And with a quick motion, I will smack you upside of the head.
Patrick, are you okay with that? Like this is one of those moments of where we're kind of got that PvP conflict. I want to slow down and check in. Does that seem like a reasonable story moment for you?
It seems fair.
Okay.
If you wish to call me out for cowardice, I will meet you. But we are in this together. And I want to trust my companions to believe in me as I believe in them.
I apologize. My oaths are not your oaths. And having dedicated your life to different priorities is not the same thing as cowardice.
Then let us continue forward in friendship and never come to blows again.
Please no, my skull is just made out of bone. Seems an inferior substance for continued conflict like that.
Oh, I don't know. I sometimes think there's a lot of rock there.
You know, I've been working on some projects along that line.
Daggeril, is there anything you want to do interaction wise, story interaction here before we move on to the settlement phase?
Sure. The whole trip back, I have been essentially working with the how do you say what is this centaur's name? How do we say it again? Is it Anaxis?
Inaxis.
Anaxis. I will be telling him the glories of the Scholars Guild, you know, with the thing that of course he wants to join us. And I'll also be trying to talk the little goblin girl into applying for a junior position. So Scholar Scout.
I think in
Tell her
accent
she
is
could
certainly.
use all the different kinds of inks, all the different colors.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
tempting there.
Yes.
An accent certainly is very interested in scholarly work there, very much that. Talon, what about for you?
I mean, I think on the way back, I look for bees.
All right. And yeah, I think you will find like are these we look establish that this is a thing we had in our Blades in the Dark Heruvia game. We had various different kinds of bees and things. So like Talon, what kind of bees are we talking? Are these gentle, tiny honeybees? Are these large bees? Like the size of those Japanese wasps? Are they something else? Are they of unusual color? Like what distinguishes the bees that you're finding here?
So I mean, the image I had in mind, like maybe we find some, you know, they do make honey, but the image I had was of carpenter bees. So like much bigger than honeybees, not quite bumblebee size,
Right.
and mostly black.
Okay.
Maybe like iridescent black.
And I think that there's a whole range of particularly dark purple and sort of that color of vegetation and flowers that they work with, such that when you look at the honey is kind of a magenta coloration to it.
Cool. Yes, I'd like try to collect some seeds from those flowers that they particularly like and find a jar and put some bees in it. Like, all right, see, and I'm working and traveling at the same time. I'd like show them to Dagriel, like, found them. Now I just have to build something to that they can live in.
Oh, and that's something that reminds me. I found that jar of seeds down in the tunnels. We gotta try sprouting those and figuring out what they were.
Oh yeah,
Could be
definitely.
something awesome.
Or terrible, but it'll be interesting either way.
Don't forget, you also have that weird plant that absorbs magic that is in
That's right, we do.
the
Yeah.
tunnels. They found that you can make
Oh.
anti-magic honey.
Oh, that's kind of interesting, isn't it?
I mean, I was already planning on making magic mead, but anti-magic honey would be interesting.
Just keep
don't
them
mix them up.
separate.
When they combine, they explode. It's great.
Yeah.
Proper labeling is important.
Because both of them are magenta. That's the
Right.
problem.
All
If
right.
she doesn't wish to be a scholar, I'll set up our young goblin lady in the, I suppose, in the merchant's tavern.
She would much rather have a chance to run around in these caves and tunnels.
Oh,
I think
Have at
Dawson
it.
has promised her caves and tunnels, and she's never had a chance to scramble around and like go and poke around in tiny gaps and things and look all over the place.
She might
I
need
know
a Drake
just
to
the
watch
people
over her.
you should hang out with.
Oh, yeah. the scouts.
So let us come. I don't think we have any buildings that we need to activate right away yet.
Only if we need to dedicate that settlement.
Let's see here. Let me.
Oh, yeah, because we could go up a tier.
Hmm.
Does it cost us a treasure to go up that tier?
It
Yes.
does.
How
But I
much?
think we have enough.
We have
Let me look at the.
Yeah, how much is it? It might. I want to think it's 2 times, but I'm not sure.
Let me find that in here. Of course, I haven't labeled that with my little tabs.
6 treasure.
Ooh,
6 treasure. So you still need some more treasure to go up.
Gotcha.
How much did we put the treasure that we got in the thing?
We
Yes.
did.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we need 3 more treasure.
Well, end of year we'll get our trade. I don't know if that's enough.
We will see.
We'll see.
So downtime activities. You may each perform 2 downtime activities, and you can spend 1 treasure or mark the mountain entanglements track by 1 to gain an additional treasure. And look, the mountains entanglements track is much lower than the outsider entanglements track. So it seems to me you're losing money not marking it. Let us start.
Untrue, Lowell.
It's untrue. It is. I am lying. Sorry. Let us start with Grunheld.
I'm relieving stress.
Okay. So when
I
you
hoard.
indulge your
So,
obsession,
yes.
what is your lowest attribute?
I increased my insight, so now I actually can just roll 1 dice instead of taking the lowest of 2.
Perfect.
So I got a 4.
That's not bad.
That is not bad.
So we see you going through your materials, going through your goods, the extra things, the stuff you've picked up, maybe some of the things that when they gave you the a little bit of village tribute, maybe you set some things aside.
Absolutely. And I think
Go ahead. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you what's the thing you've gotten this year that kind of holds a place of honor.
I think that we're seeing now that there is like in my kind of kitchen area, there's a cabinet, and as I come in, I slide it to the side, and we now see there's a little room there. And as I I move in. I reach into my cloak, and I think I actually have like one of the medallion pieces from the Centaur army, like their armor bit that had, in all of the kerfuffle of the earthquake and everything, I had
Uh-huh.
seen fall and just snatched up,
I like that. Yeah.
and I put it there. The first of enemies trophies that I'm going to take.
Nice. Dawson, what do you want to do for your first downtime action?
I should probably work on some stress too.
Okay.
My obsession is wandering. Actually, this is a perfect thing. I think I want to accompany Fish Penina and a couple of the mores to show her all of the like coolest caverns and spots that we found so far.
Nice. Let's have you roll.
So what do I roll for that?
What is your lowest attribute? Resolve. So the
Oh,
one die.
I don't trust this thing. That's a 5.
So 5, stress is cleared. However, you still have a condition marked.
Yes, and that's what a
Tend to your
10.
fellows. That is, someone needs to host
Gotcha.
either yourself or someone else to do that. It is a long-term project role to heal that.
Gotcha.
But you don't have, if you do that with the host, you don't have to actually do a clock for it if you just remove a condition.
Okay, so those are 2 different ways to do it, like a long-term project or a host.
Well, so a long-term project is like they have the 10 to your fellows. Like one of the things you can do with it is build up like fellowship with dwarves or guilds or things like that. The other thing you can do with it is clear a condition.
Oh, it makes a lot. Gotcha. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
It'll remove one per success per like if
each
you roll
tick.
2 successes. Yeah.
I like that because healing in old blades was kind of a pain in the ass. So this is a little bit nicer. They've certainly removed a friction point there.
And we can get buildings too.
Yeah. Dagriel.
Yes, I think I also need to get rid of stress. And I think that what I do is I probably go and I decide that, we got these centaurs and I kind of want to like go along the borders of our thing and go, hey, where do we have brambles? Where do we not? Where can they move? That kind of stuff. So I'm going to wander around mapping the area outside. It's mapping. I've got this plan that I'm going to come up with some tactics or something, but
Okay.
mostly I'm just outside with graph paper. If that makes any sense, drawing like prickly vines if there's brambles or whatever's there. I'm making this intricate little list of all the different terrain that I'm finding out there in little squares and labeling it and then drawing this and these.
Absolutely. Go ahead
Okay.
and
My lowest
roll.
is 2, so I'm rolling 2d6. Oh, I got a 6.
So you will clear all your stress.
Yay.
You need to choose one of the following things.
Okay.
You either attract trouble, in which case we're going to roll an extra entanglement.
Okay.
You wander off, which means that you can't be found for the following year.
Oh no.
Your antisocial behavior becomes public, in which case we create a clock about how you have to atone for your shame, or you can neglect your work, and we just mark a tick on the mountain entanglements track.
Mountain down entanglements it is.
There we go. That's what I want to hear.
There were some things I was supposed to be doing, but I just don't think about it when I'm doing the mapping. It's so nice.
Olin.
I think I'll have to follow the trend here and relieve stress.
Okay.
And so my obsession is secret crafting, and until now, most of my secret crafting has been coming up with weird brews. But I think this time I'm starting to work on a smaller, less intricate, less complicated metal familiar, like I saw the human head.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's have you roll.
Neat.
Are you going to make a trash kitten?
3. Good.
Three.
That's
So clear 3 stress.
perfect.
Grunheld, we come back to you.
I think I'm going to try and complete my project.
Okay, and your project is
The drakes, the cave drakes.
okay. Then let's have you go ahead and make that roll.
How much do I have left? I was looking to see if I had it on a place, but I don't think I do.
Let me take a look here and see. Is here, pooch, dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. I think we said it was a 6-segment clock, and I know that you got at least 3 I think you got 3 segments on it, so I think you're halfway there.
Okay. So let's go at it one more time. It's going off the old tradition, so it's a host roll.
Right.
Let's see how we do. I got a 5.
So that'll be 2 ticks towards it. So you're 1 tick away.
1 tick away.
You could spend a treasure.
Nope.
Dawson.
Are we working on a building right now?
I don't believe we have any buildings in progress right now.
Are those done with downtime things or with settlement action?
This is the same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Then I wanna start a building.
Okay.
I I'm forced to admit that perhaps Talon has some small insight into how to work with the mountain, since his brews worked accidentally twice in a row. But obviously we need better control and a more professional operation for this sort of thing. I want to start a brewery.
Okay. So a brewery. Let's see, and that can be built anywhere. It is that's a tier 2 building. So that is a 5-segment clock to build that.
Okay.
Where do you want to build that? Can either buy an earthy caves, or the stony caverns, or the iron vein.
Do any of those caves?
But
have some
you could
specials?
also build it in the hills or the mountains.
Which might be wiser, but I think, given that it's Dawson, he's
Fair enough.
unwilling to do long-term building out under the open sky, because who knows when you'll just fall into it. So the Stony Caverns doesn't have anything like unique buildings to it, so let's go
That's
there.
correct. Okay. So brewery, 5-tick clock. Let's have you go ahead and tell me how you are working to get that done.
could I start off with? I know it's usually dig, but can I start off with like a crafting roll to make the
Absolutely.
stills and the stuff
Yeah.
going on inside?
100%.
Cool. I don't know if this is really my guild's bag. Can you devil's bargain on a long-term action? Can you push on a long-term action? I suppose would be the more salient question.
You can push. Absolutely. You can also take a devil's bargain.
Okay.
I think the devil's bargain that I'll offer you is that you won't be able to heal your injury until the end of the next year, because I think you'll push yourself and pull something.
I think that makes sense, especially
Okay.
given that one of the uses of the brewery is to do a big tend action, so that might fit well storyline wise.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you get an extra die for the devil's bargain. Are you going to push yourself as well?
No, I just healed all that stress.
Seems fair. So roll your
Three
dice.
dice.
You've got those beautiful dice in front of you.
I know, but I only have two, so I'm using the jigger. And I got a 6 on the website. It was nice.
So here's the thing. If you were to spend a gold, you could get that brewery done right now.
Is that the only option for a spend?
No, mountain entanglement as well.
No. You can do an
No.
extra action with mountain entanglement. You can't use it to raise your success rate.
Long-term project.
You can't
One
use it this
treasure.
year anyway.
Hmm.
You can't use it this year anyway because you took the devil's bargain.
Oh yeah, but I mean it would be the. I know I'm not going to be healing this year. Do we really want to save the gold to go up? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
There
it
is
put us
a
in a strong
chance
position.
that you might get enough gold to go up, but there's also a chance you might not.
All right, I won't push it then.
Okay. So nobody else can build a building until that brewery is finished.
Oh.
Someone else could work on the brewery. So how many
Already
ticks did
done
I get
that.
then?
You got 3 ticks.
Okay.
Dagriel, your second action.
Too bad. I wanted to work on something. Okay.
Well, you'll be able to
shoot.
get a third bite at the apple if somebody finishes it. When by marking a mountain entanglement, so you can take a third action. And who knows? Maybe Dawson will do that.
I'm guessing not. So I mean, I do want to work on the library. So in order to do that, I have to throw an action at the brewery, then spend a mountain entanglement, and then get a bite at the apple.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
I suppose
Alternately,
you
you
could ask
could
Patrick if he wants to finish his project.
So, well, it's he would have to take a mountain entanglement. Someone's going to have to do that, right?
I mean, we're all going to take one, aren't we? I mean, I figured we're all going to take a mountain entanglement this time around.
I was planning on, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
were you? Okay, well, I mean,
I am.
I don't mind finishing up the building. I have a problem with starting too many projects, so closing
in
one
that case,
out is not a bad
Dawson,
thing.
shall we resolve that for you right now before we have Dagriel take her turn?
Sure.
That
okay,
way
cool.
we'll do this in the most convenient way possible.
Let's see. So mountain
So-
entanglement.
Mark another box there.
All right.
I think you just get it, right?
No, he needs to roll a 4 or 5.
Oh,
Would you be willing to help me out, Sherry?
Can you do that during a downtime?
Yep, you can spend a stress if you want to help.
Sure, I would love for you to succeed. So go for it.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna use dig this time to get the whole structure set up.
Sounds good.
See, I do have dice. All right, guys, come on, be nice. That's a 6.
There you go. Brewery is completed.
Sweet.
Nice.
Dagger. Oh, yes, sir.
I was just gonna say, like, I think Dozen has been working with his crafters sort of like in secret and like trying to keep people away from the large building project that he's working on, which is, you know, mixed success. But when it is all done, he will like lead Tolan out there. Come, there's a thing you need to see. You'll want to see it. It's very good.
Yeah, all right. Where is this thing? Oh, it's the
All right. Behold, finally a professional operation, so you don't have to just brew ramshackle mountain poison in your backyard.
now I can brew like huge vats of Mount Poison.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Nice.
I need to gather like at least 5 times what I have of these mushrooms and Colin runs off enthusiastically to go do that.
Oh dear. Dear.
Daggero, your first action and your second action, and then if you want to do a mental entanglement, the action after that.
Yes. So I think the thing that we established last time is that I can build a library where I wish to because of the action I took last time. Was that
Right.
correct? So so I probably want to build one like in that kind of entry hall. So where is that? Is that in that
That's
first
the earthy
level?
caves.
Okay. And is there space for it there?
Yep, there's a building space there.
Okay.
Were you not wanting to go to the second level?
No. I'm going to build one on as many levels as I can.
But
this one is particularly now I need to have it in this place because this is the Centaur's library. So does that make any sense? It will have higher ceilings. It will have wider, spaces than we need. And it will be devoted to tomes that are about the outside.
Gorge.
So
Love it.
So what did we define as the ability of the library?
It's like a +1 to rolls that use was what it was, but I don't know if we picked if we have to pick a particular what it's +1 to. I think you found something, Patrick, that was a thing for the libraries that were in that it had to be in a particular kind of place, like ancient ruins, but
yeah, and it was +1D to gather information rolls relating to history. So I think we decided each library would have a specialization that it would give a +2.
So we'll say this one is a +1D to information rolls on other factions.
Okay, that sounds lovely. Okay, so then I'll put in the library.
Okay. And that means it is a tier 2, which means you need 5 ticks to complete it.
Actions. Okay. Oh God, I hate this. Okay. Apparently I can only put it thought because I started.
Yeah, apostrophe +1.
Yeah. Sorry. Always forget that. All right. So it's 5 ticks. Okay.
5 ticks.
All right. And I am rolling with 2d6 for this.
Okay.
And then I'll get a tick on it no matter what.
Right.
Okay.
So you only need 4 ticks.
Okay.
Before you go, since I promised to help you with this, I'll spend a stress to give you another die.
Ooh.
Another die.
Okay, so 3d6. I got a 6.
Yeah, 6. So that's 3 ticks out of 4.
Okay.
So you are 1 tick away. Next time if you do it again, you'll automatically get it.
Okay.
Do you want to take that mountain entanglement and finish it up?
Yes.
Uh,
Because then we have it for dealing with other factions going
Yep.
forward, which will be super handy
I
for next season.
click that for you, so we're already set, and your library is finished.
And the volcano rumbles. Okay, so
Tolan, your second action, and then an extra one if you want.
Oh, let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm finally gonna finish this apiary research and development thing.
Okay.
So I got
You
3
are
out
a
of
little
4 ticks on
scattered.
that.
We decided that. So yeah, after you're like, oh yeah, I should finish that up.
Oh, the bees are buzzing. That reminds me, I need to do
Yes.
this thing. Yep. And okay, so I get +1 downtime, and that pretty much has to be insights or craft.
Mhm. How many ticks do you have out of the clock right now?
3 out of 4.
Right. Oh yeah, so just if you spend all it is you don't even have to roll. If you spend the time, then you will get it.
Okay.
Do you want to take an additional downtime action by marking the mountain entanglement?
Let's see. What do I want to do with it?
You're wide open. We have no buildings going, or you could start a new
No.
block, or
No one
a
has
lot of stuff to
explored
do.
either.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. No one has explored. I'll do some exploring.
Okay.
nice.
So let's look at the exploring here for the claims. So which depth do you want to explore? Do you want to explore the depth 1 or the depth 2 or up top or something else?
I'll go to depth 2.
Okay, that is a 2-segment clock.
Awesome. And that is big, which I have 1 die. All right. That's a 1.
That is a 1. So you will get 1 tick towards exploration of that. Brunheld, you still have 1 left.
Well, I think the entanglement left, don't I?
Yes, if you want.
I would like. And I'm going to continue the tradition I've had before because I'm kind of building something up.
Okay.
I'm going to go visit the matron of the Knolls.
Okay.
I'm attempting a diplomacy here to see if I can improve our relations. I get an extra die when I do diplomacy in a downtime action, so but I'm going to last time we had kind of the abundance and I came in being all upbeat and everything. I think this time I'm coming in, as always, I will bring my pipeweed, but I'm coming to kind of commiserate. I'm coming to share my burdens this time in a sense of we are friends and these are the difficulties I'm going through. I want to hear yours. I want you to hear mine. Shared burdens are lighter for us both.
So you want to try and move them up from status 2 to status 3?
I do.
Okay, that'll be a 6-segment clock.
All right. Yeah, because that's sort of what I was starting on last time when I came to visit. So this is that kind of bringing it into effect.
Okay.
This would be host.
Yeah.
I'm rolling 4 dice because I get an extra one for downtime diplomacy from my character. And I got a 6.
Got a 6. So that will be 3 ticks towards that clock. I do want to roll back to Tolan. I want to give you an option here. I was going to give as a bonus fish banina, give you a bonus on what you rolled for what you found when you explored there in the depths, because she was climbing along with you as kind of a reward for that. But if you want, we can instead change that to just have her assist and finish off the thing, and we'll just roll randomly fully then for what you get.
Let's roll randomly. I like that idea.
Okay, all right.
Like,
so
she found a crack that I couldn't fit in.
Yep. So I need you to roll me a d6 plus 2.
Okay. Uh, 5.
5, and then roll me. That's it. Okay, d6 plus depth, and then roll me another d6.
1.
1. So you will get. So that was that. So that's that. So that's uncommon, open. You will find winding tunnels.
Okay.
Essentially, like the evidence of old earthworks and things like that. They can be used for lots of different things, but they're also good if you want to build defenses.
Cool.
That is cool because we talked
Yes.
about our lower areas being harder for people to get
Right.
to.
Yeah. It fits the fiction.
All right.
And we do a discovery roll now?
That's what we just did.
No, we did an exploration.
We did an exploration, and I rolled for what it was. That was
that's
the
not
discovery.
discoveries though.
Oh,
Discoveries
okay.
is page 80. Each time a claim is fully explored on the settlement map, you do an oracle roll and see if we mark up the discovery clock.
Oh, that's
to get
right.
our
Oh, okay.
special rebuild the buried metropolis events.
1 second here. Okay. Discovery. Let's get that on the sheet. Where is discovery clock? So Tolan, would you roll me a d6?
4.
4. So please, we will mark 2 ticks on the discovery clock.
Cool.
All right. Get to this. All right. Sherry. 1, 2. No penalties. Sherry, would you roll me 2d6 for trade?
I'm sorry for the doom that I am about to enact on the settlement. Ooh, 2 5s.
2 5s.
So mediocrity is what I've enacted upon.
Mediocrity. So you will get 1 treasure.
No. That really is sad.
Oh, it's all right.
Sorry, I thought 2 5s would be better than
Actually, I'm sorry. You also have trade goods. You can roll an additional die.
From our
Okay.
iron, is that our
Yeah, throwing that in will get you another die towards this.
that one's a tier.
Okay. So,
Yeah, that one's 2 dice, I think.
I rolled a 6 on it. The 1d6.
Or
So
no,
you will have
we're
two-
we're tier 1. Sorry.
Yeah. So 2 treasure rather than 1.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little better. Closer.
Okay. Advancements points, XP, that stuff. We review each founder's actions for the year by asking the following questions. Founders earn 1 XP in a track of their choice if they can answer yes, and 2 XP if there are multiple examples. Yes. Let's start with Grunheld, and I'm going to walk through all of them with you and then move on to the next person. So what is your playbook specific XP trigger?
Get additional XP as an elder. Shoot, my monitor keeps dropping out. Sorry. As an elder, when you address a challenge with shared history or ceremony, I did the shared history to address the bringing in my the old treaties with the old home when we were dealing with the centaurs.
Yeah, and I think also you interacted with the gnolls quite a bit on that particular axis. So let's give you 2 XP for that.
Ooh, thank you.
Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, honor your clan legacy, or your background?
I would say yes. At least part of it in the
Slapping Dawson certainly counts for at least a point there.
for my soldiery bits, and my my honor there. The better the past, claiming our past will make us stronger in the future.
Yeah, let's give you 2 points for that. I feel generous.
Okay.
Yeah. And you shared a non-expedition scene with other founders before, so an XP for that.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you.
But I don't think you struggled with your obsession or weariness.
No, I don't have any problems with the obsession and no wearinesses yet.
Okay. Dawson, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
Address a problem with runes, ritual, or the spirit of the earth.
Definitely.
I would
Do you
call
feel like
multiple on that.
Yeah, I think that's 2 XP. Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy?
Actually, my legacy with working on that, the background stuff, working on that brewery, I think is the first just hands-on mundane crafting that he's done for the whole game so far. So it's sort of getting back to his roots there.
And I definitely think we saw you pushing your particular drive, so I think that's 2 XP for that.
Nice.
And you shared a non-expedition facing with founders, so another XP for that. Did you struggle with your obsession or your weariness?
I think with my weariness, because I both spent some stress on it and got some role-playing flack and pushback from it.
What's your weariness again?
It is the homebody.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a point for that. Let's come to Doggerel. Did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
That is, get additional XP as the keeper when you unearth a secret or leverage your supply case to help another. I did use my supply case to assist Grunheld in helping her friend, the centaur. So yes,
Okay.
I think I did that. And let's see here, an unearth a secret. I don't think I really got to.
Well, that's last session too. Don't forget we're counting last session in this one.
Did I unearth a secret then? I can't remember what we did.
I thought you did. I thought you were looking into lore and stuff and finding that out.
Yeah, I think that does sound like a thing. I know I was doing some research on, like.
I'll give you 2 XP for that. Do you think you expressed your beliefs, pursued your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Let's see. Gosh, I think you said my weariness?
No, this is express your beliefs, pursue your
Oh.
drives, or honor your
Knowledge is the
kin.
true dwarven treasure. I do think that that is, yeah,
I
that
think
was
you
me
leaned into
trying to
that.
get, yeah.
With your group projects and all of that from last time in this one, because you had to do the building of the library before you did this time. So that's
Mhm.
2 points for that. And you shared a non-expedition phase scene with another founder, so that's another XP.
Okay. So
Did you
5.
struggle with your obsession or weariness?
I almost ended up wandering. I don't know how much of if that counts as a struggle, but I did have to spend some what do you say? I think I did have
Yeah.
to do the mountain entanglement in order to get
Absolutely, and
past it.
that gets you an XP when you
Okay.
get
When I
that.
didn't do
That's the
that,
payback
okay,
for
okay, that's that.
for effing that roll up.
Okay,
is you
thanks.
get an XP.
Thanks. And then I think I was suitably selfish by trying to get all the new NPCs to join the Scholars Guild.
Tolan, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
I addressed a challenge with invention or tools. Did I? Let's see.
This time, definitely, and I think last time too. This time
don't remember
with
last time,
the
but-
whole bedroll and stuff, and I remember you using
Yeah,
you did something to
did something last
push
time. I
your
don't remember what.
your jury rig as well. So I think that's 2 points.
Okay.
Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Yeah. Well, I mean, gathering bees while journeying. And another one. Let's see.
Gather ye bees while ye may.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we saw that. I think that's fair. There's several instances last time and this time. We'll give you 2 points for that. You'll get another point for your non-expedition phase scenes with the other founder. Do you think you struggled with your obsession or your weariness?
Don't think I struggled with my obsession. I don't think I really struggled with my weariness.
Okay.
I didn't have a chance to be truly unreliable.
To lean in on that. So yeah, that is good. That is XP. And we're going to stop there. Give me a chance to roll the entanglements for next year. We'll start out with that turning of the year, the chat about what's going on, moving things forward, describing all of that, possibly building up more treasure, maybe leaning into just hunting for gold in the dwarven mines, that kind of thing. That might be an interior thing to do. So is there anything else? No, I think that's it. So I would like to do a quick stars and wishes before we wrap it here. Tyler, Goldenheld.
I like this game a whole lot. I really do. I think there is so much about it that is really, really cool. I love the building. I love what it's doing with a forged game. I think it's really, really neat. Huge star to I thought your death scene was hilarious. It broke me down. That was very, very funny. I thought there were really interesting things. I liked where Sherry, you were talking about trying to get all the I thought that was fun to watch you. You should come. I thought that was really neat. Ethan, I really did enjoy the coming up with a definitive plan when plans were sort of nebulous. You stuck it to things saying like, okay, let's lock them in a building. You started narrowing us down when we were still very nebulous, and that is so important. Even if it isn't what the eventual solution is, it's hugely important to get the ball rolling. And thank you for doing that. And Patrick, we butted heads, but in the end, it's character, and I kind of like where we got to in the end of maybe we need to respect each other more from the beginning. I'm dismissing you, you're dismissing me. I think in the end that resolution was nice. Wishes. I want to go up a tier. I want us to go up a tier. I think that'll be cool. I also really enjoy seeing when we go into our planning stages what we think are important. So I'm looking forward to that next phase, and maybe we all come in with this, we're getting to be an older one that, the settlement is starting to build. What are we thinking it's going to be, considering all our conditions? So I'm looking forward to that.
One of the things I meant to do, and I didn't do before this session and last, is I want to share with you that sort of list of like rewards for expeditions that I came up with, to maybe like have you go, okay, well, this is the kind of thing like how would we reduce the tier of the centaurs? Like, what would that look like? If that's the thing we want to have happen, like, what would that take? How do we build that clock? Those kinds of things. So to kind of give you an idea of the kinds of things, effects you can create in the world, and we can then figure out what kind of expedition fits with that. So I definitely want to do that. And I think that we will definitely angle to get you up a tier next time. I think it's very close, and we'll be able to get that. Patrick.
I had fun too. This was an interesting encounter to have to work through. Lowell, I will also give you centaur related stars for the description of the cat with "I don't like it" on my feet, just very high awkward stepping on a dignified horse centaur was just delightful. I also really enjoyed the whole Fishbane clan. I want to meet more of them. I want to hang out with Fishbanina more. Ethan, I really enjoy your ongoing obsession with weird bees. I love that we finally, got there and you're starting to move towards implementing. But I've really enjoyed your whole hunt for, I know I want bees, I know I want weird bees, so let's find them. Sherry, your whole description of the keepers and the scholars is just, it's hilarious and insane. Like after a long night of study and research, they all just come out covered in bruises and bandages. You were talking about them at the beginning. I was like, wow, this is a group where defending your thesis really takes on a new meaning.
Publish or
right.
perish.
Publish or perish. And Tyler, I also I thought the arc between our characters was very interesting, and I like the opportunity to be like, okay, well, maybe something gets through his head and we can start evolving the character going forward. Wishes. Well, I think it's taken for granted that we all just want to build more buildings. If we just build, nothing but buildings, that'd be great. No, I want to go back and meet with the Tengu again at some point. Whether it's whether it's on a personal scale or whether it's on a expedition scale. I just think their story's interesting.
Absolutely. Well, and certainly you invited him to come down to visit
that's
too.
true. Let's have that then.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool way to do that.
it does remind me that something I wanted to throw in it as a detail. I think as we kind of get to that winter turn, I think and I will come to Sherry and Ethan in just a second, but I think we will be seeing the shadow of that skyship coming that was promised with the circus. So we'll have those next year, sort of a promised scene at the beginning. Sherry.
It was pretty fun. I kind of love this group because we're loopy, but we're actually pretty capable. We are dwarves made of our eccentricities, but our skeletons are still rugged and capable. So it is fun to watch us go, like a wry clockwork in in some sort of I don't know, we bounce off of each other in some really funny ways. Very enjoyable. I loved Patrick's description of Dawson's sort of exterior kind of powdering and warping after he use that charm. I thought that was really neat. I could kind of see it in my head, like this kind of dust lifts off and from all of the runes, and you can see the runes more clearly than you could, and then they kind of warp a little and you go, ooh, must have hurt. I enjoyed Grunheld having such a strong sense of both what they wanted, but what their obligations for the safety of the group was. It was very sort of leader gravitas set of moments there that was kind of cool to see. And it was neat. I loved the awkward silence that followed when Dawson, kind of threw down the glove on that whole thing with the Smiths and Grunheld, and literally Talon and Dagrio sitting there going, okay, I know many things, but not how to deal with this. It was good. I just adore how Talon is inherently the most level-headed like fixer of all of the things that we leave broken behind us and all of the stray ideas that get tossed. It's just great. So you're always so consistently fitting things back together, and because we are a strange group, it's just so many good details of that, just quiet working away at those things. Also, I like the group, the game a lot, because I'm obsessed with building more. But I also want to interact with the world, but I'm still obsessed with building more. I think it's a very dwarfy kind of feeling that you're like, oh yeah, look, all these people, man, we need to be building some more. So, it's got that going on. Yeah, it feels good and right. And I want to know more about all the action, all of their factions, but I also really want to be building some more. So there you go.
Want to know more about factions? Build more. Okay, I'll put those down as wishes.
Yes.
Okay.
All of those things.
Ethan.
Yeah, so I mean, I everybody already said it, but stars for that, just like, oh, we'll protect your town. Yeah, no problem. I just made this agreement for all of us. Moment that was very good. Everyone's reaction to it. Also the surprised centaur in the closet was good. Yeah, where was I going with that? Just skip the wishes because I don't know where my brain just shut off there for a second. Yeah, I guess this is actually more of a thing to advocate for during the mission, or maybe as a long-term project. But I'm interested in finding out what happened to this city in the first place, and what's up with the humans. Those are both things to do in either I guess long-term projects. I don't know.
Okay.
But I am interested in both of those.
I think that's fair. Thank you all very much. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the challenge of it. I'm glad we were able to get that. I got to play some over the top NPCs, so that's always to my satisfaction. I am going to stop the recording